Hello lovely Libras, thank you for stopping by to my channel. So what I've done today is I've done a general energy reading for you of 9 cards, and general energy readings, in my view, opinions and beliefs, can last anywhere for up to 6 to 8 weeks, and you can also be dealing with energies in that time which you maybe thought were gone and buried, but they've come back around again. Before you be too negative about my video, I suggest you read the description bar at the start of my page. But I'm just going to get cracked on with the reading just now. First card that's came out for you is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, if you've been going through a really rough patch recently, then this card is just what you need. It's also symbolised by the number 10. The number 10, which means it's like an ending, leading to a beginning. So it could be just like the end of a cycle. If you think how a wheel turns, if you pick one point on the wheel and it spins round to the next point, that's the end and beginning of the cycle. So yeah, not to sugarcoat anything, because that wouldn't be fair. The wheel can spin for good or bad, and I really think it depends on the circumstances that surround you at this moment, and how that changes for you in the real world. The next card that's came out here is the Queen of Cups. Now, I always like to think of the Queen of Cups as being sort of emotionally content. I always like to think, if you've reached the Queen status, you are very strong in your emotions. You know who you are as a person, and nothing's going to bring you down from that. The meanings of the card is a good, honest woman. That's what she symbolises, and she's a devoted person. And she's also someone that can help as well, because she has that emotional fulfillment within herself. She's very much in a place to be of assistance to someone without getting probably too emotionally detached. So yeah, she's a good character to have around if she represents a person in your life. The next card out is my absolute worst card. I hate it. It's horrible. There's nothing nice to say about this card, and if you are suffering from this just now, I just want to reassure you that I myself have been through situations where I've had this card, okay? And it does change. Things do get better. I'm a great believer in everything happens for a reason, in divine time and in its own way. So please, if you are going through a tough time, have the faith. It does get better. I think I'm living testimony to that. I'm not going to bore you with my story. The Ten of Swords is a card of deception, betrayal, being stabbed in the back. It's a really horrible card. I mean, if you imagine getting stabbed in the back with 10 swords, that's going to take a lot to get over. So that's the sort of kind of meaning of it. And I think as well with swords cards, rightly or wrongly, I always think of swords cards as being more attached to our minds and how we think about things as well. Because, in the real world, something happening to us, if someone else does something to us which hurts us, then, not in a physical way, but in an emotional way, it's up to us really to get over that, and to overcome that. And the problem is with the swords is it's so difficult to overcome, because it weighs so heavy on you with these 10 swords that it is difficult. But you do have the power to overcome these kind of problems and hurt and pain. It just takes time. Just remove one sword at a time, and there is a silver lining at the end of it. But you're in control of that in your own time. The next card that's came out here is the Seven of Swords. Now this is a card of design, hope, on its plus points. Again, it's a card of quarrelling, and it's also a plan that might fail as well. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to give you the meanings of the cards. Again though, swords cards, and I believe a lot of it is how you view things in your own mind, or how it affects you by thinking about it. But it is a plan that might fail, or it might be a worry that a plan might fail as well, with it being, in my opinion, an emotional, like an internal card. The next card that's come out here is the Ten of Wands. Now this is the card of burden, difficulties and contradictions. The original Rider-Waite deck depicts a man carrying 8 wands on his shoulder, and it looks like a heavy load to carry. You know, this could be that, you know, you've got a lot going on just now. You've maybe got to run a house, you've got a job, you've got your boss who's asking you to do double the amount of work. It's all sort of things like that, and it's really taking its toll on you, and you're feeling quite kind of wiped out and exhausted by it. The next card that's come out for you today is the Two of Coins. Now, I did have a little laugh to myself when I saw this, because the Two of Coins, I always picture the image of the Rider-Waite deck when I see this card, and it's the man juggling. And it's like juggling two ideas, or, you know, like thinking carefully about, you know, what decision he's going to make. And that typifies Libra. You know, Libra is by rights of their sign, their traits are quite indecisive. And that's not a criticism, because the reason why Libra is so indecisive is they want to make sure they get it right. And it's you know, something. It's a very noble and you know, it's a very noble and good trait to have, I believe, because you weigh up your decision, you weigh it up carefully, and then you only make the decision when you're 100% sure. Now, I know sometimes that can cause a burden. It can be probably quite frustrating for people around you and that, but you know what? You've got to be sure in yourself what you're doing is right. So I think it's a very positive trait, so I'm certainly not being critical of it, but I did find it quite amusing when I saw it come out. You know, okay, so juggling ideas, you know, more on the sort of like financial work plane, so you're maybe juggling two ideas about jobs. There's nothing really here that's speaking about kind of relationships to me, but so it's maybe like, you know, more in a material world, like, you know, should I buy that car? Should I keep the car I've got a bit longer? You know, it's along those sorts of things. Should I move house? You know, it's along those lines. I'm sure you get the point. The Three of Coins is, you know, there's different meanings for this card. It kind of stands for, you know, it could be like glory, it could be hard labour, it could be good workmanship, and again, it could be a good generous action as well. Again, I'm using a Marseille tarot deck, so the imagery is a lot different from the Rider-Waite cards, the traditional decks that you see. And in the traditional deck, you've got a man who's this labour of love, and he's creating this mural with the three coins, and you know, he's put a lot of effort into it as well. So yeah, it certainly sings very much of, you know, workmanship and, you know, the glory and the satisfaction of that. Next card that came out for you today is the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands represents a young man. It also brings offers. You know, he's offering, as he comes in, he's offering a rod to whoever's out of sight there. Again, it can mean, you know, the meanings of the cards. I mean, it can stand for likes of emigration, or even a change of home as well. That's not unlikely with the Knight of Wands. It's like he's almost looking around to see, right, okay, you know, could I go there? So if there's any of you thinking of changing homes, that could well be, you know, a good omen for you that's coming in. And the reason I say that is because the next card out, the Six of Coins, this talks about presents, gifts, also talks about, you know, paying attention to things, which I know Libra would do. Because they think of everything to the fullest. It can also, in literal terms, be talking about presently, like now, as in here and now. It can also be like a vigilance about money and things like that as well. So if you've got a situation going on just now, it's being vigilant about your money. It's like, you know, do I have enough money to buy that car? Can I really afford that? Sort of thing. I don't really see it as a warning card. I think it's more of a just a, like it is an energy, obviously, because this is a general energy reading, but it's more talking of like happier things like presents and gifts, and, you know, being vigilant in a good way, you know, so you don't miss something, paying attention so you don't miss out on something, you know. I certainly don't think it's a warning in any way you want to look at it. So I'll put a wee story to this how I read it. Obviously it's not going to apply to every single person that watches this video. I wouldn't expect it to, and I would be very, very surprised if it did. So what we've got the Wheel of Fortune turning. Do you know, maybe now you know, what I see here, we've got the Wheel of Fortune turning, and yeah, okay, there is a couple of negative cards around you, but you know what? I actually think that the feeling I get from this reading is that you've maybe come from like a, a bad place, or you've maybe been putting something off emotionally. And the reason I say that is because we've got the Cups cards, which is about emotions. So you may be putting something off emotionally. You now that the fortunes change in some form of your life, and you're actually now starting to feel slightly more emotionally content. Okay, but I think now with feeling more emotionally content after that Wheel of Fortune, you've been so kind of feeling down about things that now you're actually having to confront this. Now you are actually having to think about this hurt and pain and trying to deal with these swords. I don't feel in myself that this is what's necessarily coming in. It could be, but the story that's coming to my mind here is more about, you're now starting to deal with these because you are feeling more emotionally complete, fulfilled. If I read down the next line, okay, so we've got the Sevens of Swords. So this could be sort of like a quarrel of some description. There could be like a quarrel, an internal quarrel in you. Something that you're kind of is weighing heavy on your mind. The decisions that Libras go through, is causing you a bit of burden. You're thinking, well, I want to do this. I'd really like to achieve this, but oh wait, now I've got to think about, how would I get the kids to school, or I've got to look after mum or dad, or those sorts of things, which can really sort of be a burden. And I don't mean that in a bad sense, because we do things like looking after parents who are unwell, or our children. We do that out of love. It's not out of it's not forced upon us in all cases. I understand there is people that probably feel it has been, but the Ten of Wands is certainly a card of burden. So there is burdens there around the situation, which is, this is what you're hoping for. You're hoping for this new plan. You're really thinking about it, but you're quarrelling in yourself about, oh, can I do it because I've got these burdens? And it's a real decision. There's a real decision to be made there. You're juggling the ideas. It's like, well, if I do decide to set ahead with this new plan, I would have to change that, or I'd maybe have to arrange a babysitter, or I'd maybe have to look at getting a carer in for mum or dad, or something along those lines. So these are heavy decisions that you've got to make, and Libra, think everything through really well. So I think rest assured you will come to a good decision on it, because you'll be 100% sure it's what you want to do. So I wouldn't be too worried. The Three of Coins talks about workmanship, glory. So yeah, that could be signifying that, once you've actually got past all this, you've maybe dealt with the deception, or this real hurt. You've got rid of that, and now you're planning, but it's like a quarrel inside your head about you're planning for what you want to do now, but you're feeling burdened. Maybe it's, just to throw that out there, maybe it's a situation where, as a husband and wife have split up and there's children involved, and it's like, well, I would really like to pursue going to emigrate. Well, there is some emigration there, emigrate, but I can't bear to the thought of leaving my kids behind. But it's such a good opportunity. What do I do? What do I do? You're juggling the idea of that. That's just an example. So you've got the glory there coming in, and I think that's because when Libra makes the decision, it's 100% right in their mind, and they feel satisfied by it. Glory, they've worked hard to get it, and it's the fruits of your labour that are going to come through from that, and it's something you're passionate about, which is really good. And then speaking of offers coming in and emigration, or change of home even. Knight of Coins. So I think that the glory is going to come in. You are going to move into this new situation, this new home, if that's what the juggle is about. You're going to move into this situation, and you know what? It's going to be good. You're going to feel like it's been a real gift. There's, this situation is going to be something that you've paid a lot of attention to. You're being vigilant about your money. You know you can afford it. You know this is what you want, so you're going to get it. And it's just all good in that sense. The only card that we really hate in this pile is the Ten of Swords. But again, like I said to you, it's all about how you approach it. It takes time, and it really can feel like the world's ended, but you know what? The world hasn't ended. Look what's coming in for you. Look what is coming in for you. You've got these, okay, painful decisions which really bother you inside, these quarrels within yourself. You're feeling burdened, but you know what? You're going to make the decision. You're going to get your glory. You're going to get your gifts and presents. Okay? Well, thank you for taking time to stop by my channel, and I hope everything goes well for you this month, and we will hopefully see you next month. Love and blessings.